Acorn TV, proud sponsor of Just Seen It, offers hundreds of hours of British mysteries, dramas, and comedies streaming commercial-free on demand. Learn about our 30-day trial at acorn.tv/PTV. Carrie White is a bullied schoolgirl with a fanatically religious mother.
You pray, little girl. Pray for forgiveness.
To distract herself, she hones her newfound gift of telekinesis.
If I concentrate hard enough, I can make things move.
But when she is pushed too far, she unleashes her fury on her classmates in Carrie.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Brenna. And we're here to talk about the remake of the 70s classic, Carrie. We've all just seen it. How about you start us off, Lisa?
Well, in anticipation of the remake, I watched the original over again, and I was surprised at how much I liked it. You know, it's been 37 years since the thing came out in 1976. I was really impressed all over again with the original. Next night, saw the remake. Can't say I was half as impressed.
Yes, the original is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I love that movie to death. There's a lot of problems that you're going to face when you try to remake a classic.
Right.
And this film, they justified it by saying it was going to be closer to the book. And it's not. It is almost scene for scene, and in some cases line for line, like the original. I've seen the original lots of times. I can recite that film. These lines that were delivered by these actors are pretty much exactly the same.
And they try to update it with doing like cyberbullying, but they don't even do it enough.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of throw something on the web and then you don't really hear how it affects anything. I mean,
They text each other every once in a while.
Right, and it just seemed like, I was like, what year are we in? There was nothing
and
substantial.
It's anachronistic. The story, the original film that they are remaking, they're not retelling the story, they're remaking this film, is from the 70s. And it being from the 70s, that age gives it that charm. It definitely works as sort of a vintage thing now.
Well, and it was based on Stephen King's first novel.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even write the same way anymore. You compare Carrie to some of his, to Under the Dome or some of his more current things, and it's different. He's adapted to the times, but unfortunately this adaptation of his novel wasn't.
The problem, it wasn't adapted. It was just copied from a 30-year-old film.
Yeah.
Another thing that the first one had over this new version was the casting and the acting. Even the secondary roles. You find me in this new version, the John Travolta that's going to emerge, the Amy Irving that's going to emerge. They're just not in this one. They look like, the kids in this one look like, I don't know, central
CW.
Casting for ABC Family. Exactly, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our lead here is Chloe Grace Moretz playing Carrie. And I think that she was miscast. And she's just too pretty.
First scene, she's in a bathing suit, face looks perfect. She would be so popular in high school.
Yeah.
No high school boy could have resisted her.
Right. Yeah. And she didn't have, she was kind of wimpy with her mom a little bit, but even so, she still kind of would stand up to her and even stands up to her halfway through the movie. And I'm thinking, well, the movie's over now.
Yeah, she's not as browbeaten.
No.
I'm warning you, Mama.
The devil's hand. Please don't do this. There will be a judgment. Carrie, Miss Jezebel fell from the tower.
I understand that this film is its own film, but I can't not compare it to the original. Nothing exists in a vacuum. The original exists along with this one. And when you have Sissy Spacek, who was nominated for an Oscar for her role in a horror film,
Yeah.
and then you have Chloe Grace Moretz delivering the same exact lines, you can't not compare them and see how much better they were the first time around.
Sissy Spacek had that wonderful vacancy, and Chloe Grace Moretz has such presence. She really, at a very young age, but her young age is the one thing she has going for her over Sissy Spacek.
Right. Who was
She's
too old.
16 when she was filming it, and Sissy Spacek was 26.
Right.
10-year difference made a lot of difference.
I will say I liked Julianne more in this, but I felt like she was underwritten, so she was very one note. I kind of liked what she did, and she was creepy and unnerving. You know, every time she showed up, I'm like, oh, I don't like her. I just wanted more. It just seemed very surface.
You know, underwritten might be the perfect way to explain it. I thought initially that she played it too crazy, but I think that it's a mixture of the two, because she is playing crazy. There's no levels, there's no subtlety, there's no shifts. She's just always crazy, she's always here.
I thought she had a little bit too much gravitas as an actress, too. I've seen her in too many wonderful dramas, and I couldn't really buy her crazy. Yeah, exactly. Self-mutilation and treating her daughter and talking about those dirty pillows. Right. It just didn't feel right coming from her lips.
Yeah,
Any of the iconic lines from Carrie didn't feel right coming out of any
No,
of
they
these
were
characters'
laughable,
lips.
and I think audiences are going to laugh.
You go to your closet.
No, Mama.
Go to your closet and pray.
My question was the additional screenwriter that they added in, Kimberly Peirce, the director. Were they in awe of the material? Were they intimidated by the original material? Or were they just lazy?
And this is my biggest problem with it. Kimberly Peirce is a fine director. I liked Boys Don't Cry. My problem is that if you're going to remake Carrie, you need to do it with a visionary director. If you had said Tarantino's Carrie is coming out, the world will go see this movie and will be in awe of it. If you have David Fincher do it, he will bring something to it. She had nothing to bring because she's not that visionary a director. She's just very kind of, likes to work with actors, likes to get into psychology. And here I wanted something more.
While this version isn't awful in a vacuum, it is while the De Palma version exists. Save your money, watch the original, and skip it.
New blood can't revive the old magic. I say skip it.
Well, I'm really tempted to give this a skip it because there's really just no point to it. I do feel like if you're curious enough, you can stream it.
All right, our votes add up to half a ticket, which is a skip it for Carrie.
Cheers.
Cheers.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
I can see your dirty pillows.
Acorn TV, proud sponsor of Just Seen It, offers hundreds of hours of British mysteries, dramas, and comedies streaming commercial-free on demand. Learn about our 30-day trial at acorn.tv/PTV. Support for Just Seen It comes from Weaver's Coffee and Tea, makers of hand-roasted artisan coffee and hand-blended tea. Learn more at weaverscoffee.com.